बहुत बढ़िया शिनचैन, जो मुझे सामने वाली लड़की में है वो है इंटरेस्ट. By the way, in Hindi, interest is called as ruchi, isn't it? Huh? Ruchi. All the people have ruchi in what? Money, isn't it? So this is all about money. It comes under commercial arithmetic, profit loss discount in SI and CI. So first of all, we need to understand a very basic thing. So let's say I have given some kind of loan to someone. The voice is okay? Why this concept of interest must have been introduced with mathematics? That is what I need to tell you. So let's say I give some money to someone. There are a lot of people who do not give the money back, isn't it? They don't give it back. That is very common. So to punish them in a way financially, we say, okay, so I have given you the money for the next 30 days. From every 31st day, I will take 1%, 2%, whatever interest. All right. Thanks, Akhil. So this concept was introduced in mathematics because there were some people who were kind of, I won't use a bad language over here, the people who don't want to earn money. Okay. So that is why we came up with the concept of interest. कि ठीक है पैसा नहीं दिया अब मैं तुमसे डबल पैसा लूंगा या जो भी लूंगा. Interest. So let's say I give someone 100 rupees and after a point of time he's not returning me the money. I'll tell him that okay, now I'll charge you 10% every month or every year. Let us make it every year. So he will be giving me 10 rupees extra for every year that he has taken the money. All right. Oh, Sia, thanks for reminding me that. Please be on the concept. Thanks. I think all my 12 years of teaching have gone to waste because I'm deviating from the concept, right? Anyways, so that's the first year. Second year, 10 more rupees. Then, third year, 10 more, and so on. All right. So what is happening exactly? If I denote this money, the initial money, let us call it P. Let us generalize it. Principal. And then, this let it be rate of interest. It is always in percentage. Why percentage? Why percentage? Because 100 is the base and it is easy for us to calculate. Well, so rate is always been percentage. And it is normally per annum. So the next thing, this 10 more every year, that will be T, time in years. So basically what is happening, if I multiply all of this, I'll get the amount which will be my interest. Let us call it I. P multiplied by R %, then T. And if you multiply them all, we'll get the interest I. So this is a simple way of calculating the interest. We'll go to some other kind of interest also for the people who don't return money even after applying interest on them. So we kind of increase the interest on a time basis. Is my voice not clear? Wait, let me adjust the mic once. I hope it's fine, isn't it? The voice is busting. Try to use the headphone once. Okay. Coming back to the topic. P into R % into T. So whenever we have percent, you all have done that. This will be nothing but division by 100. So we create our first formula. People call it formula. I call it generalization. It's nothing but plain logic. Well, so let's understand by simple example. So now we will call simple interest as SI. Principal or the sum, the initial sum will be called as P. The maturity amount would be A. Rate of interest or % per annum, time will be T. Normally in years, there are certain cases in which we try to take interest after every month, every quarter, every day. That is possible. Well, just talk to some tech guy for the voice. Just a minute. Now it is okay. All right, cool. So SI is PRD upon 100, maturity amount nothing but principal plus the simple interest. Again, it is commonsensical. And if I take P common, in the bracket I'll be having 1 plus RT upon 100. I hope you understand this part. Let us look at this example. So the principal is 10,000. It remains 10,000 always for all the years. This time 1 year, 2 year, and 3 years. Simple interest for first is 1,000. For second it is 1,000 again. For third it is 1,000 again. Total SI will keep on accumulating. All right. I have readjusted the mic. Okay, so as you can see, the SI for all the years individually is 1,000 and it gets on accumulated. First year is 1,000 only, second year 1,000 more, that becomes 2,000. Third year it becomes 3,000. And the maturity amount, basically we have added the second and the fourth column, 10,000 plus 1,000, 11,000, then comes 12,000, then 13,000. It's very simple. Nothing much to do over here. Let us solve the questions, and after that, automatically things will be crystal clear to you guys. So let's do the first question. A sum of rupees 3,000 is lent for 5 years at 5% per annum. The SI and the amount, by amount I mean maturity amount. Or we have 4 options here. Wow, so smart people are here. So tell me something, how many of you use the formula and how many of you just did by simple logic and simple observation? Simple logic, use formula. There's no need to use formula over here. 3,000, 5%. What is 5% of 3,000? Needless to use a lot of mind over here. 3 into 5 is 15, and percent, 2 zeros go away. Right? And it is happening for 5 years overall. So 150 is the interest for 1 year. For 5 years, it will be 750. 750 is the interest, and 3750, that is 3,000 plus 750 will be the maturity amount. It's clear to everyone? It's very simple. Nothing much to do over here. Great. The next question. In what time a sum of money will triple itself at SI 20% per annum? 20% per annum. Harsh has come up with his answer. Harsh says 5 years. Himanshu says 15 years. Okay, I'll wait for some more answers. Okay, so we will discuss it in 2 different ways. The first way is using the formula. All right, sum of money triple itself. That means the maturity amount is 3 times principal. Yes or no? Is that clear? Is that clear? The maturity amount is 3 times the principal. And maturity amount itself is principal plus interest. That is 3p again, which also means if I send p in the right hand side, I will be equal to 3p minus p, that is 2p. I hope this is clear to all of you. The interest is twice of principal. Now we can put the formula. The formula is p multiplied by r multiplied by t upon 100, that is the interest. This is equal to 2p. P and p will get cancelled, and all we have is rt upon 100 is 2, where r is 20. It's already given us to us. So replace r with 20. 20t upon 100 is equal to 2. Right? And if you solve it, p will be equal to 10 years. So people who mark 5 years as the answer, you know what happened with you? Did not read triple, probably you read double. जिसने 5 years mark किया था उन्होंने double देख लिया होगा. जिन्होंने 15 साल mark किया है उन्होंने देखा अच्छा ठीक है 20%, 1/5 triple करना है 15 कर दो. Right? So depending on answer, I can guess that what mistake have you committed. Both are mistakes. 5 and 15, the mistake was careless, which can happen with you. So you have to, even if you know the concept, the major problem I have seen in people in the CAT exam, then it's not that they don't have knowledge, just that they become very careless. So you deal with the pressure there. PTR 100 2p क्यों किया? देखो लिखा है ना. Amount is 3 times principal, and amount का मतलब क्या होता है? What is amount? Amount is p plus I. So I replace amount with p plus I in the left hand side. All right. Now it is clear to all of you. Number will come to that as well. P plus I is 3p, and I sent p in the right hand side. So I is 3p minus p, that is I is 2p. And then replacing I with the formula PRT by 100. Clear everyone? Should I explain it again? Okay. The formula that we're going to use over here is maturity amount is principal plus interest, and interest itself is PRT upon 100. These 2 formulae we are going to use over here. Sum of money triples itself. That means the maturity amount is 3 times the initial, that is principal amount. Okay? Now it is clear to all of you. Replacing A with P plus I, that is equal to 3p. Sending P in the right hand side. I'm doing it like a child. Board exam, every step has got a mark. That way, now it will be clear to all of you. I replacing by PRT by 100. P and P get cancelled. R is 20, it's given in the question already. Put it over there. 20t upon 100 is equal to 2. T will be equal to 10 years. I hope it's clear now. Right. अब तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Well, but let us do something smart over here. Let us try to, observe. Let us try to observe and then try to solve the question. So I will do some kind of observation. I'll show you what have I observed over here. See, all of us know that 20% is equivalent to 1 by 5. I hope you have gone through that chart, that table, which gave you the percentage value of 1 by 1 to 1 by 20, right? All of you know this? This is the most important part. The most important part is rote learning this table. 1 by 1 is 100% till 1 by 20. All right? Well, 20% 1 by 5. What does it mean? per annum. That means every year. Per is every, annum is year. So every year I am getting 1/5. I am getting 1/5. So what I had initially, let us say that I had a cake initially. That is my initial thing, which people call as principal. Every year, what is happening? See, things will be clear to you now. Every year, first year, I got this 1/5. I got 1/5. Cool. That happened for the first year. Second year, I got this as well. Third year, I got this as well. Fourth year, I got this as well. And fifth year, I got this as well. So in 5 years, I got one more cake. Isn't it? Right? Okay, Vidushi? Direct case sochte hi dekho. So I had a cake earlier. This is the 0th year. Let us call it 0th year. Initially. In 5 years, I got one more cake. Now I have 2 cakes. I need 3 cakes. So only 5 years more. Isn't it? So answer is 10 years. Is that clear now? From 10%, answer would have been 20 years. Right, Tamanna. Yeah, I'll explain that again. 1/5. All of you know how a cake looks like. Pie, how it looks like. A circle in which there are some pieces. I made 5 pieces. Why? Because 20% is 1/5. So every year I'm getting 1 piece. In 5 years I'll get all the pieces. Yes or no? Is that clear? Every year I'm getting 1 piece. In 5 years I'll get all the pieces, so I'll get one more cake. I had 1 cake initially, now I have 1 more cake. I have 2 cakes now. In how many years? In 5 years. So every 5 years I'm getting one full cake. Isn't it? Exactly. Perfect. Cool. So I gave you this kind of observation because, see, first of all, this is a very simple question. It's a concept builder. It won't even come in the exam, but this question is made to make you understand how logic works. Coming to the next one. A sum becomes 4 times of itself in 7 years at a certain rate of simple interest. In how many years will the sum become 16 times of itself at the same rate of interest? आकांक्षा, हमें 3 केक चाहिए थे. एक हमारे पास पहले से था, अगला हमें 5 साल में मिल गया, एक और फिर से 5 साल में मिल गया. ओके आकांक्षा? All right. So, how many of you used observation or logic and not the formula? Anyone? Let's do it in both the ways, okay? Because in the first class, we'll do it in both the ways. So, what is happening? A sum becomes 4 times of itself, which means the amount is 4p. Is that clear? The first step? Okay? Amount is 4p by this. In how many years happening? In 7 years happening. Okay, well. A, replacing it by p plus I, this is equal to 4p, which means I will be equal to 4p minus p, that is 3p. This is what we have with us. All right, great. Now replacing I with p, rt. So p, r, principal is not known, rate of interest is not known, but time is known. T is 7 upon 100, this will be equal to 3 times p. So p and p gets cancelled, all we have is this. Cool. Solve it further, which also means that r by 100 is equal to 3 by 7. Is that clear, everyone? Now coming to second part of the question. In how many years will the sum become 16 times of itself? So the new amount, let us call it a dash, 16 times of itself. Okay? Here, the principal plus interest will be equal to 16 times p. Let us call this I dash. Any problem there? All right? All right? Okay. So, which means I dash will be equal to 15 times P. Now we can replace, okay, and I is nothing but P R T upon 100. This is 15P. P and P get cancelled, and we can replace R by 100 with 3 by 7. All right? Replace it and give me the answer. Calculated? ठीक है. अब मुझे ये बताओ कि इतना सब करने से बेटर लॉजिक नहीं है क्या? In the last question, that was an easy question. The calculation was easy. So using the formula or use the observation, you took same time. But in this question, again, if you use the observation logic, we will save a lot of time, isn't it? Yeah, Rishabh, Sarthak, I'm coming to that. So now you'll realize that formula might waste your time. Let us do it with logic. Vidushi got it. Very good, Vidushi. Should I erase this, all of it? Yeah, Venkat, I know. 28, I know where you got wrong. Anyways, is this clear all of you? Should I erase it? Right, quickly, I'll wait for a few seconds. In the last step, just replace R by 100 with 3 by 7. And you'll solve T as 35. Okay. Akhil, exactly. Now, let us do the observation. I'm removing it all. So what was happening? I had a principal amount. Okay. It became 4 times. That means I got 3 more amounts. In how many years? In 7 years. Is that right? Clear? Ninad, no need to use any 100. See, is this clear all of you? This is what has happened in the first step. Okay. Now it becomes 16 times. That means the first P, initial P we have already. Now we need 15 P's. 15 more P's, isn't it? We got 3 P's in 7 years. 15 will be 5 times. That is 35 years. And that's it. We got the answer. Cool. This was initial and this is final. 3P in 7 years, 15P in 35 years. That's all. Clear? In terms of cakes, we could get 3 cakes in 7 years. Every 7 years I'm getting 3 cakes. So in 35 years I'll get 15 more cakes. And that'll be all right. 35 कैसे आया सिया? सिया बोल रही 35 कैसे आया? सिया मुझे ये बताओ. 3P to 15P. 15P is 5 times 3, right? 15P is, okay, I'll just repeat again. Earlier, the amount became 4 times of itself, and afterwards became 16 times of itself. 4 times of itself. I'm repeating. 4 times of itself. खुद वो P पहले से था. Okay. So P is what we initially had, and we got 3P more. All right. This is the amount. This is what we got every 7 years. All right. And in this case, P is already we have. We need 15 more. That is the only way we can have 16P. So how many 3Ps will make 15P? 5 times. 3P plus 3P plus 3P plus 3P plus 3P. 5 times. So 5 times this will be 35 years. As cool as that. अब समझ गए सब लोग? Shreya, we won't subtract 7, no, because it is the cumulative time, total time. Next. Total sum P is lent out to 3 people at simple interest at the rates of 5% per annum, 12% per annum, and 20% per annum for 4 years, 5 years, and 7 years, respectively. If the amount received from each of them is 4,800, find the value of P. I'll give you 2 minutes for that. नंदिता, including initial किया था ना? 4 में 1 था और 3 और. तो 3 पे तो किया 7 साल. Or not? Harshita has got a different answer. Abhinav, I haven't even explained yet. I'm waiting for you to answer, then I'll explain. Anurag, yes. By the way, we have to find total value of P, no? Total, not in each case. I hope that's clear. All right, so let us try to solve this one. There are three people. Total sum P is lent out at simple interest at the rates of this, and this for this many years. If the amount received from each of them is 4800, हर किसी से 4800 मिला है, तो find the value of P. Okay, so let us say that the first person, let us say the total amount is P is A plus B plus C lent out to each person. Can we say that? For the first person, A multiplied by his principal was A, rate of interest was 5, time was 4. The first person, the amount received is how much? Is 4800. Okay? Each नहीं देखा. Okay. हमें तीनों को ऐड करना पड़ेगा. We will have to add A, B, and C. Okay, so I'm giving you 1 minute more. Now try to solve it. I think a lot of people must have missed this part. Oh, someone got 35428.7. Aryan got this. Okay, here we say amount received. What is amount? Principal plus interest. So from the first person we got this much interest. The principal was this. The sum of P and I was equal to 4800. Is the first equation clear to all of you? Is the first equation clear to all of you? Yes or no? Tell me in the comments. Be quick. Is the first equation clear? Clear, no? Okay. Then you'll be able to solve it. Meenakshi, for Meenakshi, clear nahi hai. No problem, Meenakshi. See. Let the P be A plus B plus C. There are three different people. The first one is lent out A rupees. Second one is lent out B, and third one is lent out C. Okay. So A, B, and C. Yeah, I'm repeating. A, B, and C are the principal amount given to three people respectively. All right. And all of you know that maturity amount is principal plus interest. Okay. So from the first person we got A plus A times RT, rate of interest for the first person is 5, and time for first person is 4. So we got 4800 from the first person. Now is it clear to all of you? I hope it is. For the second person, principal was B, the interest will be B times, what is the rate of interest? For second one, it's 12. The time is 5 upon 100. This is also equal to 4800. And for the third person, the rate of interest is how much? 20%. And time is 7 years. So 20 into 7 upon 100. This is also equal to 4800. Now is it clear? Abhishek, A से तीनों का अलग-अलग principal है ना? Okay, tell me something. For each of them, the rate of interest is different, the time is different, but the amount received is same. How can that happen? It can happen only if principals are also different. That is the only way. All right. How 4800? Read the question, please. Let us solve them one by one. So first statement. A plus 5 into 4 is 20. देखो एकदम मैं छोटे बच्चों से करूँगा अभी. This is equal to 4800. I know you can solve this. 100A plus 120A. You know how to solve it, no? You know how to add them? A plus 20A by 100. You get 120A by 100. That is equal to 4800. Right? Calculate the value of A. Similarly, for the value of B, this is how much? 60. So B plus 60B by 100 is equal to 4800, which further means that 160B by 100 will be equal to 4800. And coming to the last one, C plus 140C by 100 is equal to 4800, which further means that 240C by 100 is equal to 4800. Now all of you can calculate A, B, and C and add them up. Cool? This is the simplest way to solve this question. Nothing can be simpler than this. Naman will come to that. 120A कैसे? By the way, I am assuming that all of you know how to add fractions, yes or no? Do you know that? Abhishek, because amount is principal plus interest, na? See, I wrote this formula. Principal and the interest, I added them up. Do you want to take a session on how to calculate things? A speed calculation session? If you want me to do that, I'll do that as well. How to start? How to start? हो तो क्या solve कर दो इसको अब. Calculate the value of A. A is 4,000. In this case, B will be how much? 3,000. And C will be, if you calculate, it will be 2,000, isn't it? So answer is 4,000 plus 3,000 plus 2,000 is 9,000. The answer will be 9,000 in total. Is that clear now? Chalo, sabko aa gaya na? Okay, we'll do a session for that as well. Cool. Let us do something, real quick. इतना सब लिख के कौन इतना करेगा? कैट हमें तो कैट क्रैक करना है, हमें थोड़ी ना बोर्ड एग्जाम देना है. Should I erase it now? Brother, wait. Let us do it by a cooler way. Okay, so I'm writing all this stuff over here. First person, second person, third person. Okay. For the first person, the rate of interest was 5%, and time was how much? 4 years. The second person, the rate of interest was 12%, and the time was 5 years. The third person, the rate of interest was 20%, and the time was 7 years. Okay. I'll multiply them. So for the first person, he got overall 20%. Can we say that, yes or no? 5% every year, that means 20% in total. Here, 60%. Here it is 140%. Is that simple? So now I have made this. You don't have to make it. Exam banane mat lagna. This is for you to understand. This guy got 20% more. This guy got 60% more. This guy got 140% more. Okay? So in the previous session, I'm sure, if something is increased by 20%, the multiplying factor becomes 1.2. Yes or no? 1 plus 0.2. 20% is 0.2. Is that clear to all of you? 60% increase here becomes 1.6. 140 increase here becomes 2.4. Right? Is that right? 20% more. That means 120%. Yeah, Naman. 20 something has increased by 20%. That means it is now 120%. And 120% is 1.2. Something has increased by 60%. That means it is now 160%, which means 1.6. Something has increased by 140%. That means now it is 240%. It's 2.4. That's it. All right. So, for the first person, whatever this guy had, he got 1.2 times of it. That means initially he had 4,800 upon 1.2. Can we say that? Can we say that? Naman, 5 into 4 is 20, 12 into 5 is 60, 20 into 7 is 140. Isme kya? First person initially had 4,800 upon 1.2. The second person had 4,800 upon 1.6. And third person had 4,800 upon 2.4. Let's add them all and get the answer. 9,000 is the answer. Got it? Exactly, Zainab. Those who could not get y divided. Relating it back to the previous thing. So 1.2 times A was 4,800. Do you remember that? Which means A is 4,800 upon 1.2. I just did not want to use AB again here. Now you must have realized that what just happened. Rashid, 1.2, 20% increase हो गया कोई चीज. If something has increased 20%, now it has become 120% of itself. What is 120%? 120 upon 100 is 1.2. You must have done this in the first class itself. Got it, everyone? Cool. Coming to the next question. Next concept. Compound interest. Rhythm strike करेगा. धीरे-धीरे करेगा. अभी रुको, अभी 2 ही क्लासें हुई हैं. There'll be more. Thanks, Arpita. Okay. Compound interest. This is for another category of people who even after reminders don't pay the money back. So they say, okay, now I'll charge the interest, and then I'll charge interest on interest as well. That is what? That is why compound interest was brought into place. Okay? Cool, Akhil. Okay, add ka, I don't know what the name is, but I'll got add ka. Okay. So I'm using both the methods. One is conventional, that is slow, and then the logical method is, of course, the method is fast itself. So I charge interest on interest as well. Okay, bhai, karo. So what is going to happen? Let us look at this. But before that, let us understand how it will come into play. So first there was something, okay, I lent P rupees to someone, and then what happened? I want how much back? I want this back. I hope it's clear. This is the amount that I want back, isn't it? This part is clear. That is what I want back. In a way, I want this back. Is that clear? I want this back. No problem there. All right. But when I want this back, people have not given it back to me, so I'll have to put interest one more time. I'll have to keep on putting interest on them. ये तो हो गया T जब पहले साल का था. But here the thing is, if I put T as 1 only for the first year, this is what I want. But second year में उसने क्या बोला, मैं वो पैसे नहीं दे रहा, तो मैं क्या करूँगा? I want the interest on the principal as well as on the interest. All right. Now you have to understand one thing. In the previous session, you must have learned this. If you want to increase something by x%, you multiply it by 100 plus x upon 100. Yes or no? Remember this part? If you want to increase something by x%, multiply it by this, right? Right? So here what is happening, because I want interest on principal as well as interest, so for the first this is what I got. I got P multiplied by 1 plus R by 100. Now if you look at this and this, both are making some kind of sense. So it was x% over there, it is now R%. So things are increasing by R% again and again, year over the year. Right? Right? So first year, it was this much. Second year, it has increased by 1 plus R by 100 again. Basically, we are multiplying 1 plus R by 100 again. That means we can square it. If we do it again, it will be 3. So every third year, 3 ho gaya. 4 years becomes 4. So basically, to generalize it, if there are T years in total, I'll just raise it to the power T. T is the year. T aa gaya, Gunjan, Sarthak. Lakshya will come to that also, EMI, in the next class. Is that clear? Bani Brata, see, look at this. Yeah, Aditya. Now it is clear to all of you? Nishit, exactly. That is what compound interest means. So we are multiplying principal by 1 plus R by 100 again and again every year. Successive increase हो रहा है. All right. Clear to all of you? किसको समझ में नहीं आया? इतना simple है. I'll do it again. Okay. In the previous sessions, I'm repeating for some people. If we want to increase something by x%, then we multiply it by 100 plus x by 100. I'm taking it very slow. This is what we call as multiplying factor. This is what you remember from the previous sessions. Yes or no? Yes or no? Sheikh will come to that if R is different. This is what you know already. Okay? Okay. So in compound interest, you invest something in a bank. Let us say you invest P. Let's say you invest P. Okay? At R% interest. So for the first year, you multiply P with 1 plus R by 100. So your money becomes this much after a year. After 2 years, you'll again multiply it by the same multiplying factor. The multiplying factor remains same. You'll keep on multiplying for the time you are invested in the bank. Right? Right? Vedant, if you pay more attention to what I'm saying right now, it'll be better for you as well. ठीक है ना? We'll keep on doing it again and again. So let's say we do it T number of times. What is T? Time in years. So instead of writing it again and again, we'll just put a power over it. This is what the maturity amount will be. Yeah, Arjun, we'll come to the example as well. Clear now? Okay, so this is the final value of money, which means this is the maturity amount. So maturity amount is P times 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power T. Where P is principal, R is rate of interest, and T is time. Okay. By the way, maturity amount is principal plus interest. That is what you know already. So now if I want to calculate the interest, I'll send P in the right hand side. And now, from the right hand side, we can take P common and put everything inside the bracket. Is that clear, everyone? So now we have two important formula. One is for the maturity amount, and this is for the compound interest. Shruti, the maturity amount will always be the same. Principal plus interest. See, in SI, the I was simple interest. Here, the I is compound interest. That's it. Okay, Shruti? All right. Now, so here we have a formula, an example as well. So we have fixed the principal amount to be 10,000. For the first year, the CI becomes 1,000. Okay? And as I said, that we need interest on interest as well. For second year, this interest will get added up and the new principal will become 1,100 for the second year. Right? And on 1,100, again, if I calculate 10%, I'll get total CI as 2,100 on the 7,000. Okay? So we'll keep on adding the compound interest for this year to the principal of the next year. And we keep on getting new principals every year. So basically, the principal for any year is basically the sum of principal and interest for the previous year. And that is how we get the amounts. By the way, if you compare this table of SI and CI, there's one thing you must be realizing, that compound interest is increasing exponentially because it is raised to power t, and the simple interest was increasing linearly because it was multiplied by t. Rashna, see, P doesn't change. Mathematically, we say P is changing for the simple reason that we are adding interest to the principal for the next year. That's what it is. Okay? Okay. This is showing you a pattern. Anyways, let us try to do the questions first of all, and things will be very easy. Just by doing the questions, everything will be clear. Ashani, right, it is geometric progression. I'm not using those terms because even in simple terms, people are facing problems. So I'm not using GP or AP. I want to use that. But yeah, it's GP, and SI, in the case of SI, it is AP. Anyways. आकांक्षा X की जगह R रखती है कि R is rate of interest. Okay, आकांक्षा. Akshay, they'll know there is, things are floating. We will do that in the next class. Because in some cases, the principal keeps on decreasing because whatever you pay, they subtract from the principal. That is another concept altogether. So a bacterium divided into 2 bacteria every minute. If it was put in a tumbler and the tumbler got half full in 209876 minutes, then when would the tumbler be completely full? The answer will be next minute, exactly. That is 209877 minutes. So what is happening here? In this case, the rate of growth is 100% for every minute, right? That is what exponential increase actually means. हर minute double हो रहा है. That means the rate of interest is 100%. Understood? Things are doubling every minute. Okay. इसने double तो नहीं कर दिया इसका? Next one. What will be the CI on this 2000 for 3 years at 10% per annum? या गुनगुन, एक बैक्टीरिया था, अगले मिनट 2 हो गए, फिर उसके मिनट 4 हो गए, फिर 8 हो गए, 16 हो गए, ऐसे होता जा रहा है. तो ग्लास आधा फुल था, अगले मिनट पूरा फुल हो गया, डबल हो गया. सिंपल. गुनगुन, नाउ यू अंडरस्टूड? Those who don't understand the previous question, I'll come back to it. See what is happening. Okay. A bacterium, there's a single bacteria. I'll make the bacteria now. This divided 2 bacteria every minute. This was the first minute. Second minute, same thing will happen. So we'll have 4 now. So every minute, every minute bacteria, they are doubling, right? Those who don't understand the previous one, this question, it is doubling every minute. There was a tumbler, it was full of bacteria, okay? It was half full by bacteria. This has happened in X minutes. So tell me, those who don't understand, that what will happen in X plus 1 minute? Every minute they are doubling. So each of these bacteria will divide into two. They will divide into two. So they will remain the way it is, and they will create one more replica of themselves. So if it was half full in X minute, in the next minute, that is in X plus 1 minutes, it will be completely full, right? Now it's clear to everyone? अब क्लियर सबको हो गया, चलो बहुत अच्छी बात है. Coming to that question. CI on rupees 2,000 for 3 years at 10% per annum. The formula for CI was, if you remember that, this was the formula for the CI, right? Put the principal here, that is 2,000. Rate is 10%. Time is how much? 3 years. Let us calculate this and we'll get the answer. So 2,000 is here. Inside the bracket, this is 1.1 cube minus 1. I hope you understand this part, right? We'll come to logic also, Sarthak. Which means 2,000 times 1.1 cube is how much? 1.331. See. So here I have solved each and every step. And now this adding, subtracting and multiplying. We have 3 zeros. Decimal के बाद 3 number है, shift हो जाएगा. I hope you know that. 662 will be the answer. A. Is that clear? Yeah, CAT 1995 question. Those were the days when Chetan Bhagat passed out of IIM Ahmedabad. ठीक है? So I'm erasing this now. अब देखो, एक तरीका और कर सकते हैं successively. So we had 2,000 earlier. We had 2,000 earlier. It increased by 10%. What is 10% of 2,000? 200, isn't it? 200. So it became 2,200, isn't it? Again 10%. That is 220. Now adding them up, it became 2,420. Again 10%. That is 242. So now it became, if I add them, 2,662. We have 2,662. Earlier it was 2,000. The difference is 662. That happens to be our answer. Clear? Question. Coming to the next question. If CI for a certain sum for 2 years at 2% per annum be rupees 2020, what is the principal? कुमार अभिषेक 1.1 ही था मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर. 1.1 पहले वही किया था. 1.1 into 1.1 into 1.1. Okay, 2%, that means 1.02, 2 times, that means this. So I multiply this with the principal, I'll get the amount, but if I subtract now 1 from it, I'll get the interest. So I hope this is how you must have solved the question, right? ऐसे ही है ना? All of you. P 1.02 का square क्या होता है? I think it is 1.0404, am I right? Minus 1, that becomes 2020. Subtracting 1, you get 0.404. So P will be equal to 2020 upon 0.0404. बिल्कुल 5 बार कट रहा है. 50,000 is the answer. Anushka, 0.1.2 कैसे आया? Tell me something. Have you guys attended previous lectures on percentages? Yes or no? If you increase something by 2%, what happens? You multiply it by 100 plus 2 by 100. That is 100, 2 by 100. That is 1.02. We have used it, I think, 3 times in the session. This thing. Still there is some problem. अब तक तो आ ही गया होगा. 3 बार यूज कर चुका मैं इसको. 1.61. There was a question in which we used it 3 times. 1.6, 2.4, 1.2. Narasimha, of course, can go through the options, but what options are not there? It can be theta question as well. Vishnu, yeah, we can do that. Coming to the next one. A sum at compound interest becomes 3 times of itself after 5 years. After how many years will it become 27 times of itself? I'm giving you 3 minutes for this. Now, is the speed okay with all of you? Those who found me fast, now I think you're okay with the speed? All right. I gave you a time. Let's try to solve this one. Sum at compound interest becomes 3 times of itself after 5 years. That means A becomes 3 times P. The first thing is clear to all of you. So we'll do what we did. The same question, similar kind of question for SI as well. Amount is 3 times P. And what is the value of A? A is P times 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power T. This is equal to 3P, right? P and P got cancelled. Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear? Time is given as 5 years. I'll just put T as 5. So 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power 5 is equal to 3. All right. That is what we have. Let us call this as equation number 1. Let's call this as equation number 1. The second part says, after how many years it will become 27 times itself? 27 times of itself. Okay. So 27 times of itself. That means now the amount is 27 times of P. Let us put the value. P times 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power T is equal to 27P. P and P get cancelled. Cool. Now what? We can do one very simple thing. Let us try to find the relation between 3 and 27. 3 and 27. Something has to be connected. In the left hand side, we have 1 plus R by 100. The power here is 5. The power here is T. We don't know how to relate to it, but there's one thing that we know. The 3 and 27 must be related somehow. What is 27? It is cube of 3, isn't it? It is cube of 3. Right? It's cube of 3. Perfect. Perfect. So what can I do? I can do one thing. I can replace this thing. I can replace the left hand side, 27, I'll write it here, 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power T is equal to 3 cube here. And now I'll put 3 as this. Comparing with equation 1, let's replace 3 by 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power 5, or it's cube, that means this is what we have. Now compare, bases are same, powers has to be same, T into is 5 into 3, that is 15 years. Answer is 15 years. Is that clear, everyone? Aditi? You know why you got correct answer? It's because now you have understood things. Okay? Narasimha says how to solve this in 60 seconds. 60 is a lot. Let us solve it in 6 seconds. Not clear. Urvashi, क्या नहीं clear है बताओ मेरे को. Yeah, Imanshi, okay. Karan, yes, we can do that. Not clear. Difficult है. It is basically exponents. 3 into Ronak, I told you that in CI it is basically exponents. 3 into 9 करोगे वो तो simple interest हो जाएगा. How we take 5 on the other side? I think the people are not able to understand the people who are not reading the question carefully. Okay, let us do it in another way. चलो भूल जाओ सब ठीक है. See what is happening. What is happening? Wait, see what is happening. In the first 5 years, things are becoming 3x of itself. Is that right? Is that right? This is clear to everyone? निश्चित मैं वैसे भी रिपीट करूंगा, पहले ये समझ लो तो क्लियर हो जाएगा. This is 3x हो गया. In the 5 years becomes 3x, right? In the next 5 years, it will again triple itself. So earlier it was triple, now it's triple of triple. That is 9 times. In the next 5 years, triple of triple of triple. That is 27 times. That's it. Oh yeah, solved. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. Is that clear now? As simple as that. Did the same? Very good. That's it. Okay, so now because we are 1.5 hours into the session, now is the time when I should tell you something which I want you guys to understand. It's not complicated. पहले वाले लोग आसान समझते हैं. पहला वाला was through the formula, right? So now listen to me very carefully. Forget this question and try to understand this very simple thing. Okay, ready for that? अभी अभिषेक समझ में आ जाएगा. अभिषेक करना अगर see what is going to happen. Normally if I make a series, it's 2, it's 1, it becomes 2 after some time, becomes 3, then becomes 4, then becomes 5, and keeps on increasing. Another series, it was 1, becomes 2, then becomes 4, then becomes 8, then becomes 16, and so on. So what is the difference between these two series? What's the difference between these two series, the first one and the second one? I don't want to use the term AP and GP directly, but I'll just show you one simple thing. Akanksha says different numbers. See, here in the first series, numbers are increasing by a certain value. Here it is 1. Okay. In the second, the numbers are getting multiplied by a certain value. That is 2. Things are becoming double of itself. So first one is basically a series which is found by addition, and second is formed by multiplication, right? By multiplication. Clear? The first series is found by addition is known as arithmetic progression. The second by multiplication is known as geometric progression. All right? All right? The first one resembles simple interest. So if you look at the amounts under simple interest, they are increasing by the same value. Remember that? In the first example, I showed you a table in which the maturity amount was 10,000, then 11,000, then 12,000, then so on. Right? But in the second table, it was 10,000, then became 11,000, then became 12,100, then 13,310. This is what is happening. So first series was AP, second was GP. I'll show the table again. Now you'll be able to clearly understand it. See, here the series is increasing by 1,000. Isn't it? It's increasing by 1,000, which is nothing but a simple interest. Right? And in the second one, it was compound interest. If you look at this, the things are increasing by multiplying with 1.1. Isn't it? So if you multiply 11,000 with 1.1, you will get 12,100. Things are getting multiplied by 1.1. So we can say that the maturity amount, if I put maturity amounts in a series, in case of SI, we will get an arithmetic progression, but in case of CI, we will get a geometric progression. Is it clear now, everyone? Akanksha, I hope it is clear to you now. Cool. So we have reached this place now. By the way, why 1.1? Because here it was 10%, and in the previous sessions you must have realized if something increases by 10%, if something increases by 10%, it becomes 110% of itself. It is nothing but 1.1. If it was 20%, it would have been 1.2. If it was 30%, it would have been 1.3. Clear? So the revision has been done. Look at the side table once again. All right. Nothing is getting multiplied. Things are getting added. Now continuing with the questions that we are doing. This one. The interest for second year only, not for the complete 2 years. This is for third year only, not for the complete 3 years. By the way, interest of third year included the interest on the second year also, right? So by what amount has it grown? It has grown by 42, and 42 is what percent of 420? 42 is what percent of 420? 10%, and we got the answer. So basically, what is happening here? Into 1.1 was happening. 1.1 was the multiplying factor. Clear? Is that clear, everyone? Now if I ask you, what will be the interest in fourth year? Anil, exactly. SI में AP, CI में GP. Next it will be again 1.1 से multiply कर देंगे. Multiply 1.1, what do I get? 2850. I think this will be the answer. 508.2. Right. Perfect. All of you got it now. Coming to the next question. A sum was lent at a certain rate of compound interest. It amounted to rupees 12,000 at the end of 3 years and to rupees 18,000 at the end of 6 years. Find the sum. Vidushi ये mention होगा. Yeah, Ajay, but that doesn't matter. We had to calculate the rate of interest, not the principal. Kanish, the same thing will happen. If we use the formula, things will become complex, as it happened in the previous case. A lot of equations would have to be solved. Okay, Ganesh, if you want me to do that by formula, I can do that. But you yourself will get confused. Rahul, last question not clear? Is it so? Seriously? Second year में था 420 रुपए, फिर हो गया 462 रुपए. कितना बढ़ा है? 420 has grown by how much? 42 rupees. Yes or no? So 42 rupees is what percent? Okay, something was 420, it has grown by 42 in terms of real amount. In terms of percentage, कितना हुआ होगा? 42 is what percent of 420? This is how you calculate the percentage values, isn't it? 10%. That's it. Now is it clear? I hope it's clear now. Slowly go. Okay. This question. Sum was lent at a certain rate of compound interest. Okay. 3 years में 12,000 हुआ, 6 years में it became 18,000. Find the sum. चलो करते हैं. This is a good question. Let the principal be P. P times 1 plus rate of interest is not given. R upon 100. In how many? 3 years, it became 12,000. And in 6 years, it became how much? 18,000. We need to calculate the value of P. All right. Let's do something over here. I can write that the value of 1 plus R by 100 whole cube is 12,000 by P. Any problem here? Is it clear to all of you? YP, Rux is YP. A sum, let the sum be P. Do you guys want me to start writing like we did in the class 8th? Let the amount be P. Let the rate be R. Anurag, I don't think that is required. The class will be of 4 hours then. P मतलब principal है. कुछ और हो ही नहीं सकता आज की क्लास में तो. ठीक है ना? Okay, so this is what we have. Let this be equation number 1. Now look at this. Now there's something which you guys need to understand. This is cube, this is power 6. Is this square of this? Yes or no? Right? This bracket is square of this bracket. Yes or no? ये समझ में आ रहा है? Square कर दिया ना? The square of cube is power 6. So I can replace this by square of 12,000 by p. Does it make sense? From equation 1, I have done that. Now I hope you can solve it easily. Oh, Sonak, nice. I should not understand what I said. I said, okay, see. What is the square of x cube? It's 6th power of x. Is this clear? So I squared this and I got 6th power. Okay. So I'll just write it. Wait. Squaring both the sides. 1 plus r by 100 to the power 6 is equal to 12,000 upon p whole square. Now it is clear? Now is it clear? यहाँ पे इसको रिप्लेस कर दिया. अब तो क्लियर होगा. Nice, Aditi. Very good. Soumya, is it clear now? Ganesh will come to that. But is this part clear to each and every one? Aditi, वही तो क्यों ठीक है वही तो किया था 3 लिखने से बेटर था कि मैंने डायरेक्टली वही लिख दिया ना एक स्टेप खत्म ही कर दिया चिंतन क्या नहीं समझा The amounts will be in GB. The people were saying multiplying factor can be obtained only when you know the value of rate. Diksha, here the rate is not known to us. The rate is not known to us, isn't it? That is why we cannot use multiplying factor over here. Chintan, इसका solve कैसे करेंगे? Okay. If you open the bracket, you will get P multiplied by 12,000 into 12,000 upon P into P. So 1P gets cancelled. Here we have 18,000. Right? Send P here, bring 18,000 here, and if you solve it, you'll get 8,000 now. अगर मैं इक्वेशन 2 को 1 से डिवाइड करूंगा ना तो और प्रॉब्लम होगी ये वाला फिर भी ठीक है स्क्वायरिंग साइड वो साइड पहले ही कर दिया अब समझ गया Akanksha, there is no -1 because we put -1 when we calculate the interest. Here it is amount. The question says no, it amounted to. That's the reason. रेट फाइंड करना होता सागर तो हमें लॉग्स लगाने पड़ेंगे यहाँ पे हमें लॉग टेबल चाहिए होगा और कैट में लॉग टेबल्स नहीं होती ना ही साइंटिफिक कैलकुलेटर दैट इज व्हाई दे वोंट आस्क यू एग्जैक्टली नंदिता all right well now I am erasing it now I'll show you something which will help but that won't be universal approach that will be applicable to this only why because if you see here it is 3 years here it is 6 years so there are 2 time gaps one is 0 to 3 years and the other is 3 years to 6 years right and the gaps are equal so the rate of growth must be same percentage is same so jo bhi growth jo amount bana hai that will be the growth in the amount will be same yeah I'm going to logic now this will help in this question because it is 3 years and 3 years 7 hota aisa na hota right 0 to 3 and 3 to 6 so as you can see what exactly happened 12,000 became 18,000 that means it became 1.5 times of itself in 3 years from 3 to 6 what happened things became 1.5 times isn't it is that clear from 3 to 6 things became 1.5 times so from 0 to 3 also things would have become 1.5 times so initially it was 12,000 upon 1.5 that is 8,000 ये 10 सेकंड वाला अप्रोच है क्लियर Nandita, see every 3 years things are becoming 1.5 times of themselves is that clear Nandita now every 3 years things are becoming 1.5 times of itself that's it सर तक मजा आ गया ठीक है Exactly, Aditi. The time gap is same, then only we can do it. Of course, that is obvious. Deposited a certain sum of money in fixed deposit account at R% per annum interest being compounded annually. If the interest accrued for the third and fourth years is 4,000 and 5,000 respectively, what is the total interest accrued for the first 2 years? Kumar Akash, it is applicable when the time gap is same. Happy for different time gap, again, the formula has to be used. Akhil, cat 223, not 24. Are you traveling in time, Akhil? Megha, yes, that was applicable to equal gap of years. Yeah, Harsh. There's one thing which you must have realized in today's session, that is that if you come with certain biases, for example, that you are weak in maths, or you are scared about maths, or you don't like maths, you just hate maths, or CAT is very difficult, or what would I do in front of mathematics background students? If these biases will be there, in the first 30 to 45 minutes of the session, you won't be able to learn anything, and you'll be stuck in the loop which is created by your own mind. But after 45 minutes, what happens? You start understanding things, because now you have nowhere to go. So what if you don't come with the biases? Automatically, things will be clear. If not clear, at least you would be able to focus on them. But now I can see a lot of people, the amount of doubts have lessened. The reason is simple, because now people are actually trying to understand. Yes or no? Do you agree to this point? Gungun, this will start happening in the next class itself. Okay, now let us try to solve this question. For third year interest accrued was 4,000, for the fourth year it was 5,000. What is the growth? What is the growth? The growth is, if you calculate this way, 5 by 4 times. The growth is 5 by 4 times. It is 25%, but things are becoming 125% of what they were initially. All right. See, for the second year, it should be 4,000 upon 5 by 4, right? Right? What do we get here? 3,200. And for the first year, it should be 3,200 by 5 by 4. 5, 6, 44, 4, 6, 24, 16, 2, 5, 6, 0. Is that clear? Clear? So every year, things are becoming 5 by 4 of themselves. So if we go back in time, it will be 4 by 5. At feeling still behind the rest, don't worry, I will take a session on this thing. What do you call it? 2560. 3,200 plus 2560. That is 5760, which a lot of you already got. Pratham, see, in case of compound interest, be it amount or be it interest, everything goes by the same multiplying factor. That is why we can do that. Rajat Mundra, for the compound interest, both will be in the GP. Okay, Rajat? 5 by 4 क्यों हुआ? चलो छोड़ो वो सब, एक चीज करते हैं. Time 1, 2, 3, 4. This is not known, this is not known, this was known. How much? 4,000, and this was 5,000. By the way, till now we have realized one thing. याद रखना, there is a multiplication. In the previous cases, I told you 1.1, etc. What is it here? कितना हो रहा है? Is it 1.25? Yes or no? Is it 1.25? 1.25. सबको समझ में आ रहा है यार 1.25 होता क्या है? 5 by 4 ही तो होता है. I just made it 5 by 4 so that it is easy for you to calculate. If you do it by 1.25, you will multiplying by 1.25 dividing will be difficult, but 5 by 4 will be easy. No, see, rate is same. No, rate is same across the years. By the way, this is clear. 1.25. So each year things are increasing by 1.25 times. I hope it is clear to all of you. Right? Now is it clear? So moving in future from 1 to 2, moving in chronological sequence of time, we are multiplying. What if I move back in time? I'll divide by 1.25. Yes or no? Only for CI Dishan. We are doing CI only, no? Now I hope you got it. Good. So multiplying by 5 by 4 is what we did when we moved chronologically. We moved back in time, we divide by 5 by 4. कोई है चलेंगे सब लोग